Imagine doctors standing over a soldier, believing his story had ended. His body was still. His voice was gone. His eyes could not open. A body bag was being prepared. And then, in one unbelievable moment, that soldier used the last signal he had left to tell the world one thing: I am still alive. But the real mystery is not only how Roy Benavidez survived. The real mystery is this: what kind of man refuses to die after everyone else has already given up on him? Before we go deeper, subscribe to the channel, because stories like this are not just about war. They are about courage, survival, and the human spirit when life gives you no easy way out. Roy Benavidez was not born into fame. He did not grow up as a celebrity, a rich man, or someone the world expected to become a legend. He came from a difficult background, built himself through discipline, and joined the United States Army. Over time, he became part of the Special Forces, but on May 2, 1968, his name would enter history forever. That day, a small reconnaissance team was in serious danger. The situation was becoming worse by the minute. Helicopters had already tried to reach them, but landing was nearly impossible. At the forward base, Roy Benavidez was listening to the radio. He heard the call for help, and in that moment, he had a choice. He could stay where he was safe, or he could step into a mission that almost nobody expected him to survive. Roy chose the second option. Here is the question that makes this story unforgettable. Why would a man voluntarily enter a mission where survival seemed almost impossible? Roy was not ordered in the way most people imagine. He made a personal decision. He saw that his fellow soldiers were trapped. He knew the danger was extreme, but he also knew something deeper. If someone did not go in, those men might never come home. So Roy boarded a helicopter. No dramatic speech, no long goodbye, just action. And when the helicopter reached the area, Roy moved toward the team. From that moment, his mission was simple: bring them back, no matter the cost. For hours, Roy Benavidez stayed focused on one thing: saving lives. He helped injured men move toward evacuation. He directed aircraft. He recovered important material. He kept going, even after his own condition became worse. Every step became harder. Every second became heavier. But he did not stop. This is what makes his story so powerful. Roy was not acting like a man trying to protect his own life. He was acting like a man who had already decided that others would live first. The official citation describes his actions as extraordinary courage, personal risk, and refusal to stop despite severe wounds. But behind those official words is a human truth. Roy Benavidez kept moving when almost any person would have collapsed. He kept thinking when fear could have taken over. He kept helping when his own body was failing him. And after nearly 6 hours, the mission finally reached its ending. But Roy's story was not finished. Not yet. After the rescue, Roy Benavidez was evacuated. His condition was so serious that many believed he had already died. He could not speak. He could not move. He could not open his eyes. Imagine that silence. A man who had just fought to save others now had no way to tell anyone he was still alive. Doctors believed there was nothing left to do. A body bag was being closed. And then came the moment that turned this story into legend. Roy gathered whatever strength remained inside him. He could not raise his hand. He could not call out. He could not explain. So he gave the only signal he could. A signal strong enough to stop the doctor. A signal that said, "I'm not gone." That moment changed everything. The man everyone thought was dead was still fighting for life. Here is the shocking fact. Roy Benavidez survived injuries that should have ended his story. Official and museum accounts describe his condition as extremely severe, and yet he lived. But survival was only the beginning. He spent a long time recovering. He had to face pain, uncertainty, and a future that no longer looked simple. Many people would have disappeared into silence after something like that. But Roy did not. He returned to life with the same determination he showed in the field. And this is where the story becomes even deeper. Because sometimes courage is not only shown in one heroic moment. Sometimes courage is waking up again and again after the world thinks your best days are over. At first, Roy Benavidez did not receive the Medal of Honor. He received the Distinguished Service Cross. Why? Because at that time, the full story needed strong eyewitness confirmation. For years, it seemed like the complete truth of what happened might never be officially recognized. That is the mystery inside the mystery. A man had done something almost impossible, but the full honor was delayed. Then, years later, a living eyewitness was found. That testimony helped confirm what Roy had done. And finally, On February 24, 1981, President Ronald Reagan presented Roy Benavidez with the Medal of Honor. The moment was not just an award ceremony, it was history correcting itself. It was a nation finally saying, "We know what you did, we know what you gave, and we will not forget." But Roy Benavidez's legacy is not only about one day in 1968, it is about what he represented afterward. He became a speaker, he shared his story, he reminded people that discipline, education, and purpose matter. He proved that a person can carry pain and still inspire others. That is why his story still hits so hard today. Because Roy was not fearless in a simple movie-style way. He was human, he suffered, he struggled. But when the moment came, he chose responsibility over comfort. He chose others over himself. He chose life, even when death seemed to be the final word. So the next time someone says, "It's over," remember Roy Benavidez. Because his story asks a question every person should think about. What if the moment everyone thinks you are finished is actually the moment your real story begins? Doctors thought Roy Benavidez was dead, but Roy had one final answer. Not with a speech, not with a shout, but with a signal of life that refused to disappear. And that is why his story still lives. Not because he survived only once, but because he kept proving, again and again, that courage can outlast pain, silence, and even the moment the world gives up on you. If this story gave you chills, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs strength today, and comment below, would you have had the courage to keep fighting for life when everyone thought it was over?